This video is going to look at how you can record the elements of your lesson that you want students to remember. You know those bits in the lesson where you kind of write something down or explain something and then you have to keep going over that stuff again and again in the lesson. Those kind of interactions I'm going to show you just with a few simple tools how we can actually capture that really easy with a mobile device. So what I've got here is I've got my laptop. This is representing my projector, my TV screen, or in fact just my desktop PC so that you can actually share what you're seeing. I've also got my MakerLabs tablet stand, which we're going to use in a second to keep everything nice and steady. I've got an iPad Pro here, but again, this could be an iPad mini, it could be a Chromebook, basically anything with a camera on it. And then what I've got is my just box standard A4 white paper and a black pen. And that's essentially it. There are some technical bits behind this. So this iPad and this Mac are on the same wireless network. And on here I've got a thing called Air Server, which is basically replicating a wireless access point called an Apple TV. So it replicates that. It allows me to broadcast my screen from my iPad onto this screen, and if this screen is connected to a projector, it then allows me to share what's on my iPad with the rest of the class. Incidentally, I'll go through a few more of these things, especially that Air Server setup, Apple TV setups, in other videos. Right, so let's get this started then. The first thing to do is to make sure that we can see on these two devices. So on my iPad, I am going to open up my iPad on here, and as you can see I've got my latest version of iOS 11 on here. I'm going to swipe up from the bottom, and then in the bottom right hand side it says screen mirroring, so I'm going to tap on screen mirroring, and Air Server on here is replicating the name of this Mac. So this is MacBook Pro, and on here it says MacBook Pro, so I'm going to tap MacBook Pro. I haven't got any security features on here. Normally you'd put PIN codes on so students can't access it, but now you can see that this screen here that's popped up is exactly this screen. So if I tap that, this one moves. If I tap on here again, you can see that I'm now controlling this. Let's make this nice and big on my Mac by maximising that. And now you can see, if I just move that into shot a little bit better, there we go. You can now see I've now got a mirroring my iPad. Cool. So this could represent my projector or my TV screen or even just my desktop. You could install Air Server to give it a go, or you could have an Apple TV already. Right, so that's sitting over there. This is all ready to go, so that's cool. What I'm going to then do is I'm going to assemble up my stand. So I'm going to take the first part with the tab, and then take the second part, spin it upside down, push those two together and they lock into place, and then that's going to sit over the top. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to take my iPad and I'm going to put my iPad on the top of the stand like that, and it's kind of nice and stable, which is really good. I'm not going to need to touch this too much. The height is set so that it will mirror the majority of the A4 page. And then what I'm going to do is I'm very simply just using the camera app on the device. I'm not going into anything too technical, it's just the camera app. If I wanted to, what I could then do is, at a certain point in the lesson I know I want the students to remember that fact, maybe for revision, or maybe it's just a key part of the topic they've got to understand the concept of. I can very simply on here, just using the camera app, just tap record. That's now going to record everything that goes on the screen. Now normally what I would do is I'd have all the students around the desk looking at that, and then as the lesson goes on, any misconceptions, I'd go around to each student and help them individually. What I've done here, by tapping stop on the play button there, is I've now recorded all of that in my camera roll. So that means then I can share that. I could put that up onto YouTube, I could put it into SharePoint, put it somewhere in the cloud, I could email it across, I could put it on my VLE system. Really quite nice and easy. And I've done nothing extra other than put this stand up and then press record and press stop. And that for me is just the most simplest way of using an iPad and an iPad stand like this to capture all those really cool things that go on in your lesson.